Now this was a 80-year-old lady who came to myself for wax with completely chock-a-block in here. My name is Taylor Green. I'm one of the audiologists at Audiology Associates.
My name is Rhys Barber and I'm with our audiologist here. And we're going to talk you through this one today. Now, one thing you didn't mention is they never had wax removal before.
Forgot to mention the most important thing.
So this is 80 years of earwax.
Now this, believe it or not, was actually a follow-up appointment as well. So the lady came to see myself a week before this and hadn't used any oil or any treatment at all for this. And looking at how hard this is a week's worth of, I think this was actually sodium bicarbonate as well.
That was bicarb?
So, yeah.
Jeez,
so
Reece,
absolutely
right, okay.
solid. So this is now the follow-up. So again, now the first bit that you just saw,
right.
I'm a bit confused with this.
That's all right.
The first one you just saw was the initial appointment, and you could see we were only in there a couple of seconds. You can't hear it on the video, but the lady actually was in a little bit of discomfort as I was moving the wax around. So there was obviously a little bits of like spiky, like solid bits on there because it was like concrete, absolutely solid. So we've got this is the standard size ulnar tube that we've got here. You can see the front surface now had been affected quite nicely with the drops.
Yeah.
But usually as standard, what usually happens with the drops, it affects the front surface and doesn't really get very deep in there.
No. Thing is, the more aggressive drops don't penetrate the surface, they just turn to mush, don't they? That's the thing. So it's olive oil is usually one of the better ones if you could have microsuction. Irrigation bicarbonate peroxide is always a good bet for a couple of days before.
So you can see we've actually got a little bit of movement here now. I wasn't able to use suction on the first visit, but you know, we've actually managed to get a little bit of a grip in. You can see it's got like layers and layers of that, all that like really thick like keratin. And bless her, she kind of stuck. She wanted this. She was desperate to get this removed. And as I was moving it, you could say the lady was kind of like kind of flinching a little, not flinching, but kind of drifting away a little bit, which understandable. And this is why the patient was having some discomfort on the last appointment because
how deep that goes?
Yeah, we can only see the front surface of the wax. So obviously when we're trying to just pop the hook around the top, what I was trying to do was to bring it around the corner. But looking at how deep this is, this is obviously the reason why the patient was in a little bit of discomfort.
It didn't have a corner to it.
There was no corner for it. No, it was literally just one big
it's
log.
just one solid block all the way down. My gosh.
So we've got lucky today. I was kind of hoping that the lady, would stick with the drops because it won't be the first time we've had, we've recommended drops, booked a follow-up, and then they've turned up for the follow-up saying, I've been working, I forgot to use the drops.
Oh, that frustrates me.
You're like,
I put some in this morning. It's like concrete. There's no point. That's not going to do a lot.
But we've got a little bit of movement. I'm just checking to see how much of a gap, if there is any gap there at all.
So is this the same bat or is this a right?
This is the right hook,
the right,
I think. I think this is the right hook.
I missed the end.
So I'm just trying to almost roll this forward now. So I'm just going to do that kind of pull forwards, drop back, pull forwards, drop back.
The dance move.
It is, yeah. Sorry.
That's his best dance moves as well.
That's, not much of a dancer, to be honest.
Maybe Cal to give you some lessons.
I should actually,
That's ballet though, isn't it? You're good at ballet though, aren't you? You can do the ballet. No, I don't mean like you can do that thing that people can't do at ballet.
I'm a bit flexible.
That's the words I'm looking for.
I'm quite flexible. Yeah, I can like keep my feet apart and like bend my knees right.
There's a name for that, isn't it? Is that plie?
I might be.
Yeah.
Cal's probably going to tell me off, but yeah, I think it is. And she's like, that takes most of my students like months to learn.
You're a natural, but
just a natural.
You're a natural.
Just
like
natural.
Rudolf Nureyev. He was a ballet. You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. You would know.
Yeah.
Way past my time.
Yeah, it's way before your time, I think.
So it's really fighting us this now. Go back to wax removal.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
That's not.
We digressed.
So again, I've gone back to the suction here now. You can see it's got a bit of movement to it now. So I'm just going to keep wiggling it. Just trying to walk it out of the ear canal.
That's
obviously hasn't really
beast.
It's
the second half of it as well.
This is the back end of it, yeah. So obviously I've definitely suggested the patient come back on at least a yearly basis. Like this back is absolutely solid.
So it's like, had the patient been experiencing obviously they had discomfort when you pressed on it, but they had the discomfort, like obviously a hearing issue, I'd imagine. They could notice the hearing problem.
Yeah, I can't exactly remember the main reason the lady came in. I think she'd gone swimming or something and had got a bit of water trapped in, or whether it was like from the bath or something, but couldn't clear the water out. And that's, this is the reason why a bit of water's got in, it's got trapped there, and just couldn't clear it. So obviously lady was quite surprised at what came out in the end.
Guys, don't forget, if you are enjoying this video, you can always like, heart, share, follow and subscribe for us. We'd really love you to do that. If you're really enjoying the videos, you can also consider becoming members of the channel. That way then you get to see more videos every single week on a Tuesday and a Thursday.
Got my favourite tool out now. I haven't used it for a long time.
There it is.
There's the rosin inserter.
There he is.
A tiny, tiny little gap above. And what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to not hook the end into the wax, but I'm almost trying to put it just through the surface, just so I can roll that forward. It's a bit of a pain, isn't it? Because it's so thin, the rosin insert, and it just, like kind of what it's done now, it just kind of breaks through the centre.
I think where you saw originally, like at the beginning part of the video, you had those layers in there.
Yeah.
There's a chance that thin end can pass between those layers rather than hook onto one. Yeah. It's breaking it. Look, it's sort of kind of breaking it down, isn't it, rather than pulling it forward. So
again, lady was a trooper through this. I kept checking on her every now and then, and I said, look, worst case scenario. I was saying, well, worst case scenario, if this is too uncomfortable, let me know. We'll just get you back. Use some more drops, soften the back end, and we'll be absolutely fine. But she was like, no, I want it out. I'll stick through it.
Fair enough.
So yeah, fair play to her. She sat through it.
You can see it's just like pulling down the side of that plug, isn't it? It's kind of almost going around the centre and pulling around the sides.
Yeah, problem is we haven't got much space, and that's why I'm finding it tricky at the moment. It's just completely filling up this ear canal. So I think I am going to have to try and break this apart, trying to break it up into little pieces, which is what you can see me doing now.
Because you're in the wrist with our jobs and horn, like pushing it further back. Yeah. That's the problem, isn't it?
That would be ideal if I could just get behind and hook it, not hook it, but scoop it out.
Yeah.
But I'm struggling to pick this little piece up.
God, it's so dense, isn't it?
Yeah.
It almost looks like a mummified dust bunny. It's got those kind of looks to it, isn't it?
Lots of hair in there as well, like old, just a really tricky one, to be honest. God, look at it, it's absolutely solid.
I'm keeping that back portion of the plug, because when you're pulling this front of that back portion, it just doesn't seem to be coming forward at all.
Oof.
Yeah,
pops a bit of oil in
flood it, just get anything to try and get this out. Dynamite.
I was hoping.
Look at this wily coyote.
So what I was hoping was going to happen here, as I popped a load of oil in, which is kind of what I've done here actually. I was hoping I was going to get a good enough grip to give that a good wiggle, because that oil is going to help to slip it up.
Oh,
all that dead skin on there. Oof.
Blinking heck.
And there we are. We got a nice clear view of the eardrum, but we've pretty much got the same thing on this one.
I just got this picture now with this cartoon character 80-year-old lady with her hair stuck up like all covered in soot.
Yeah. I got, so both sides were exactly the same, but as you saw at the very beginning of the video, I only attempted the one side. I didn't even bother with this one, because this one looked exactly the same. So I said, look, use it in both sides. We'll try it again. So we've got very similar. It's actually a little bit easier on this side. We've got a very, very similar kind of consistency. We've got a load of keratin, a load of dead skin. There's softer patches. There's dry, hard patches. So bit of a tricky one.
I was going to say, because those flaps of skin on the outside edge, you can see where they're that soft. As you're coming in with the suction tube, they're kind of dropping down in front of the suction like that, aren't they?
Yeah, that's not the ear canal, that's those layers of skin. So that's kind of what I was hoping was going to happen, is that it would all bunch into the suction, so I got a much better grip. And you can see we're already getting a good bit of movement on this one already. Spotted a bit of a dry spot there.
Sometimes you could be lucky and it almost works like a sled and it pulls that plug with it, doesn't it? They were quite chunky plugs, weren't they?
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, patients, we've already set up a reminder for our patient to come back next year.
Yeah.
But we always say, you know, we book, not book an appointment, but we set a reminder for a year's time. But we always say, you know, any problems, any changes, ring us. Get down so we can check it over. Like, don't get to this point again.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to go another 8 years. But, you know, it doesn't take a great deal of time for it to build up like this. But it's possibly felt okay for the patient because the wax was so hard, which will still allow, you know, the vibration and the sound to pass through. It's the softer, squishy wax which
it's
you struggle
mushy
more
stuff,
with,
isn't it? It doesn't take as much to really block that sound up then. We got some good videos coming up for you this week as well, guys. Just so you know, we got the one you told me about the other day that you put in late. Yeah, that's coming up on Friday. That's a good one.
It's a good one.
A couple of pediatric ones. We got an ear pain day coming up. And I've got one that's very similar to this coming up for the members as well one day this week, which is a guy that I saw 4 years ago. And he said, you had a lot of trouble getting out back then, and said, you might have to send me to ENT. I was like, all right, okay. When did you come last time? 4 years. I was like, oh.
Okay.
So yeah, we've got that one coming
Here we go.
So we've got that one coming up on what, I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Thursday, but it's definitely a members video coming up. So keep an eye out for that one as well.
So we've got a little bit of a ledge here now. I can't squeeze this forceps too hard because it's going to start shearing that end bit away. So I'm just lightly pressing the forceps and wiggling. Just broken it away.
I'm feeling for you on this one, buddy, because it's not. It doesn't want to help you out at all, is it?
If there was a bit of space, we'd be all right.
Yeah.
There's just no space for us. Well, very, very little space for us to manoeuvre this around.
I can see what you're doing here. Is there enough consistency to... Oh, yeah, pulled forward a bit though, bud. Yeah, you got it there.
Come on.
Nice bit of wiggling. Oil doing its job.
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, you've spotted a gap. You have, yeah.
Have I tried... Do I try and reposition this? I can't exactly remember what I did here.
I think you're aiming. You can see that
little bit there.
Yeah, I think you're aiming for that, just to widen that gap a little bit. I think your plan is to get behind it now.
So I'm just trying to push it down a little bit so I can
I don't want to try to duck to see below the ear canal. It doesn't really work on a video.
Right, there we are. We've got it in the plug now. We've managed to get the insert right inside that plug. Bit of a wiggle again.
That's positive.
Yeah, said the lady, here it comes, here it comes.
I guarantee it breaks just before we get to the edge.
It probably will, yeah. Probably will. No, my luck.
What? No, it's still going.
Yeah, it's got a bit of resistance.
Oh yeah,
to it.
You can see the twiggle going there.
Twiggle's
I haven't
coming.
seen the twiggle for a while.
Ooh, look at that.
Look at that bad boy.
Nice and squeaky after
clean.
Yeah, look at that.
Jeez, that's a haul, isn't it? There's some chunky, girthy plugs in there as well.
I showed the patient afterwards and she was like, that was in my...
That's mad.
Yeah.
2.5 inches.
Just over 6 centimetres.
Well, guys, don't forget, if you enjoyed the videos, you can go back and check out the back catalogue as well. There's another 1,200 and... can't remember what number this is, 41 videos or something that you can go back and have a look at, as well as members videos as well, so you can go back and check those. There's about 160 odd of those now as well, I think. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching our videos today, but as always, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another, and myself and the lovely Mr. Taylor Green. We'll see you for the next video. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.